Good morning, everyone. I'm super excited about our own Hyvä event. Super grateful for Ignacio and Andrea for organizing it and for the whole organization. And let's not waste more time and let's get started. I don't really like all the fuzz on LinkedIn when another person is telling the e-commerce landscape is changing and there's a new hype that we all need to follow. And I think what we need as a community is just to keep it real and also challenge the things that people are saying about the e-commerce industry. We've had so much distraction in our ecosystem, so many people trying to take away the focus from Magento and kind of cannibalizing the fact that Magento has been in a bit of a paralyzed situation where no innovation was happening on the platform. But let's say collectively, no longer. And let's look past every other hype that's coming every 3 months, whether it was native apps, single page applications, headless, you know the drill, even AI, and most of it is fueled by hype. And there's a lot underneath it. I know all of us are currently using AI in some form and it has great parts, but let's not get distracted and think that this will change the entire ecosystem or e-commerce as we know it, because we've been hearing that for 8 years, time after time after time. There comes something new that's going to change everything, and in the meantime, we're still on the ground, working for merchants, building amazing stuff that works. And it's proven. And we need to keep focus and keep doing that and build the best possible solutions for the ecosystem, for our customers, for the merchants. So let's try and ignore the noise a bit and create our own noise in a positive way. A lot of money has been wasted, merchants' money, that were forced to upgrade to a headless microservice. Everything that they are now reeling back from. We've been selling them private jets while they needed a car or a boat. And everyone now realizes that maybe you can afford to buy a private jet, but you can't maintain it. You can't pay for everything to maintain it. It requires a lot of money and time and effort to use a lot of these solutions. And we now see a lot of merchants come back from all of those hype technologies and migrating back from PWAs. So I think we are in a good era of our ecosystem where things are becoming a bit more sane and we don't get distracted as much. So let's use this momentum to innovate on the platform that we have. And let's focus on challenges of actual merchants and solve their issues, instead of thinking of what they need, or don't think about that at all, but just innovate for the sake of innovation. I'd like to see Magento as a reliable car brand that has been around for decades and decades and decades and has been innovated on what already exists, instead of some maniac designing something that no one asked for and is now killing people on the road, and which all ends up in rust. And in the end, it's pretty clear what's the reliable solution and what needs to be pulled out of the dirt. We provide solutions to challenges. And nothing has been more challenged than Magento. And it's kind of a superpower. Like, it's been battered down and it's kept standing. And we've proven all together that this is the reliable solution. So let's help people realize that and remember that. We innovate where innovation is needed, not just for the sake of innovation. And the power lies in all of us. It's the mentality that we need to have. Solve actual problems. You are talking to the merchants. You are hearing what their problems and challenges are. And you're the medium to solve those issues and to think of the right solutions for them to build. not just for the sake of building something, but listen to them and see what they actually need. And don't oversell something. Use us to build those tools that you hear that merchants need. Tell us what those things are, so we innovate on the right things. That's why we're working much closer with our partners now to define our roadmap and new features that we're building. And we built this ecosystem together, and we built a healthy soil for years and years to come. That's up to us. We do it together. And success is everywhere around us. Don't get distracted by negativity coming from competitors, other platforms. God knows what their incentives are. There's a lot of noise out there, and we can overshadow that noise with our own positivity and communication and sharing those success stories. So, about those pain points, we're building problems that address these pain points. We all know the Hyvä team, it's been around for the longest, celebrated its 4th birthday just recently. We tackled dev experience, time to market, and performance, and many other things, but I think those are the main pillars that help us solve issues for merchants. We introduced the Hyvä UI, which builds on top of that and brings down time to market even more, offers a lot more flexibility to quickly design a custom shop. The checkout, same dev experience, better performance, extensibility, and flexibility to customize it in a way that previous checkouts didn't allow us to do. Hyvä Enterprise, which I think is the most feature complete, well-performing front end for Adobe Commerce. It has basically almost full feature coverage. We're close to getting there. And again, it's building on reliable technologies that we all know, and we added our flavor on top of it. So also in that market, we're reducing time to market, improving performance, and we get like the top 10 customers from Adobe Commerce are coming in our direction to make use, maybe not on all storefronts, not on all platforms that are, or all instances that they're running, but many of them see a use case to use Hyvä in those environments as well. So that goes lower end of the market. We're pretty much addressing the entire market at this time. And then our new product that we're currently building, Hyvä Commerce, which is addressing the pain points of administration tasks, the user experience there, and improving content management tools, and platform desirability to make Magento more appealing again, and competitive, and sustainability of our ecosystem. More on that soon. A little bit about our trajectory. It's kind of a returning thing for any time we're up on stage, because every time numbers improve. We have 100% year-over-year growth, both in terms of our company growth, but also revenue and customer base. 5,000 stores live, which is, I think that's a lot. And it's growing, still it's growing quickly. More than 1 million package installs over packages. It's amazing to look at the statistics there. Per month. 5,500 members on Slack, 8,000 developers on our GitLab. God knows how many more there are out there, because by far not everyone is on our GitLab. The amount of developers that are working with Hyvä every day is, I can't comprehend it, and that's kind of crazy. And we're active in 81 countries. So we like to use Buildwith to see how many stores are currently live on Hyvä. We usually don't show the black line, which is like the entire amount of sites live worldwide. We usually focus on the red line, which indicates how many stores in the top 100 million websites globally, and that's been very steadily growing from the moment that we launched. And that red line puts us on the top 22 of the 1 million top websites globally. So not just e-commerce, the top 1 million websites worldwide. In that e-commerce category, we rank 22 above many of the other e-commerce platforms. Pretty cool. For just a front end to be competing with those platforms, kind of cool. For our next step in growth, building Hyvä Commerce, we got backing from Molly, which is a really great partnership that we have, which gave us the confidence to grow our team very quickly this last January. We hired just 8 people in January to help us build commerce, which makes our complete team look like these 24 beautiful faces, which are every single one of them amazing individuals, and they're even better when you put them together and work in groups. Their powers grow exponentially. They are amazing. Most of them are here today. Walk up to them, chat with them, and see what they're working on, and have a dance with us at the end of the day. This talk is actually mostly about roadmap, which we've promised, and the things that we're building and are going to build in the future. This has been asked for a long time. Can you share what you're working on? I don't expect you to be able to read this. We're gonna go through every section. Yeah, that's really not going to be possible for you to read. So luckily I'm gonna go through it step by step anyway. We're gonna publish this soon on our website for each section, every product we're working on, the things that are currently in the pipelines and planned soon. So for every section, let's first go into the team. Luckily, the detailed versions are readable for you. So let's start off with what we're doing for the team. We've been working very long to tackle the issue of CSP support, PCI compliance. We're releasing a alternative version of the team that's fully CSP compliant anytime now. That's been worked on by Vinay for the better part of last year. And he will have a whole talk about this later today, so he'll be able to share what we're going to release there. This is going to be a requirement pretty soon, not necessarily for your full website, but for every page where you handle payments. So most importantly, it's for checkout, where we're also releasing compatibility. But if your merchant requires full CSP compatibility, we're going to offer that solution to you. We thought of a little addition next to site-wide CSP compliance to just redirect all payment buttons to not actually be a payment button, but a redirect page where we initiate payments, to remove the requirement of CSP entirely from your eCommerce front end, the catalog part, which Vinay will also go into detail to. We're working on variations, UI variations for the cart page in the team, which initially was planned to be part of Hyvä UI, but we're just going to put that in the team itself as a more beautiful standard cart experience. We're planning pretty soon, or for the next things that we're going to work on for the team will be enhancements in tracking to make sure that we allow just the same solution for merchants to have a performant way to add tracking, which remains one of the main issues performance-wise, including tracking scripts. There's more on the team side that we'll add once we release it on our website. There's more UI improvements. There's Tailwind version 4 support. There will be a lot more. Consider this the initial launch of the roadmap that will be expanded all the time. Moving on to checkout. We're working on a full checkout redesign, which is also about to be released. I think it's fully done, so you can expect this to be released very soon. And checkout CSP support, Vinay will tell more about that. So it's a fully CSP compliant version of the checkout. We're going to work on better better address handling. The way that addresses are being saved on the order placement. Also, this list is not conclusive, but it's one of the things that we have planned soon. And then further down the road, we want to work on custom attribute handling. There will be more. Luma support. We actually have some boilerplate code for that. So we've had that for a while already, but it hasn't been a priority yet. But we do want at some point launch a Luma version of the checkout that works standalone. Better check-in flows for in the checkout. Stored payments, I think that's one of the last features on the team side to include in the checkout to make it fully feature complete for Magento standard features. Moving on to enterprise. We're working on a 1.5.0 version of negotiable quote, which was recently released for Adobe Commerce. And we're finishing up gift registry. That's also nearly done for the team and for checkout. Then we'll focus on general availability so far, because we're releasing package by package for enterprise for Adobe Commerce support. So those packages may have reached the stable version already, but the meta package, the whole Hyvä Enterprise product, is still on a 0.x version. General availability will be the first stable release that's fully feature complete, which we consider stable enough that we're not going to refactor big parts of that product. Any questions you have about enterprise, find Ryan or John, many others also, but John's kind of in charge of what we're doing there, so bother him. Then next on, in the next 3 to 6 months, B2B data services support. Then we plan to include customer custom attributes, which is a nice tongue fumbler. B2B general availability for Hyvä Checkout, so that's also the 1.0 version of checkout support for Adobe Commerce. And then general availability for Hyvä Checkout enterprise features. So I've been racing a little bit to get up to this point, because this is where we kind of want to spend most of our time, right? And we have plenty of time to go through this a little bit more easily. Hyvä Commerce Roadmap. So I'm not going to start off with the full overview. We're just going to go through these one by one, because they're a bit more exciting to talk about. With all respect to people working on the other products, which are exciting as well, but these are unfamiliar. First thing we're building for Hyvä Commerce. An admin dashboard. I find the admin dashboard quite unusable and unfunctional. There's a graph that's very poorly animated, and that's about it. 2 lists of recent orders. We want to make that actually a valuable landing place for a merchant or a content manager or whatever kind of user role that logs into the admin. Let's make that a place where they can actually do stuff and find stuff, learn stuff, and measure. We're implementing a system where you can create widgets and shuffle them, order them, create your own dashboards in your user profile. So every user can create their own dashboard and include widgets that include quick links to sections of the admin that they regularly visit, or show them the last CMS page that they edited and quickly go back to that, or the last order that they were looking into. We want to have a very basic core web vital statistic there using Crocs data from Google, which will be by far not as valuable as using ROM Vision. But as a starting reference, I think it would be good if a merchant logs into that dashboard and they immediately see that something's wrong and they need to look into that because their core web vitals dropped. So just showing a graph where that data is visible and they realize we had this deployment 2 days ago, and now core web vitals are going down, I need to call my agency or we need to look into this. And then, let's see what I haven't mentioned yet, full control over, so you can set the width of a widget and where it needs to show, and we want to include multiple tabs so you can create like grouped data in the form of widgets. And we'll create standard dashboards for, let's say, a content manager or someone that handles sales or a full admin. Based on the admin user role, we could predefine dashboards. You will be able to choose to keep the current dashboard and add our dashboard on top of underneath it, or show both, or show only ours. So it will be very customizable and super extendable. So we want extension developers to hook into that logic that we write so that they can add extra data to that and includes a compatibility for their own extensions. If they have a blogging module, show the last blog that was edited. So we want to initially we're going to launch with a basic Crocs report, so that's page speed, things like cart conversion rates, just show how many abandoned carts there are. We have the data in the database, how many are left, how many are moved on to actually placed order. And just, we can create any graph that we feel is a need for, and people will be able to add it, like sales per country or any statistics that you would want to add. Launchpad I already talked about, and then we want to have a health checklist where it just shows like your caches are off. Come on, click the button, enable your caches. Your performance is suffering from not so ideal configuration. So let's point them into the direction how to configure the store correctly for performance. This is an example of one of the first widgets that we've got working now, just using API data from Google, where it pulls in the free Core Web Vital statistics and shows you a trend over the past 30 days. And we'll be able to persist that data so you can see over time if you're improving or things are not going so well. I would love to see RunVision hook into this and extend this, like make a pro version of this where they insert all of the data into the dashboard instead of maybe external, but those are things that we can talk about. This is meant to be like a starting reference for people to build cool stuff. So as an extension point, as I just said, I think I covered this already. And I talked about this as well. It's going to be very dev-friendly. Everything's customizable with XML, so you could predefine dashboards in XML and save it per user, etc. And we're using Apex Charts for charts, and we'll provide data renderers for any pie charts or graphs that you would like to use. So we're going to make sure that the effort to create a widget will be as low as possible. And for an agency, I can imagine you implementing custom metrics that your merchant requires. Future plans, more widgets. We'll limit the amount of widgets just to get it out of the door as soon as possible. So we will launch an early version very soon. And we'll set ACL permissions per widget. Okay, next thing, media optimization. So what I think is crazy is that a merchant can upload a 10 megabyte image to the admin and it will render as a 10 megabyte image in the front end. That should just never happen. 5,000 pixels wide should just always become whatever you set as the maximum that it should become. So let's say 1,000 pixels, rendering modern image formats, just everything that improves performance and also what Google likes. It may be just 10%, I think I read recently from Carline that just 10% of initial page loads is affected by images, but I think that's 10%, that's a lot. If we just fix that by default, so an image in the front end will never render bigger than it should, we've tackled that. So then we can focus on the other 90%. So you'll be able to use like a single image renderer tool where you can basically render all of the image in the front end if you hook into that logic, and it will transform all the images in the sizes that you need for the devices that you're offering. And it will support all the enhancements that we will build in Commerce, but also anything we have in the team will start to implement that image renderer. So we want to take back control over image output, and I basically talked about this. It will have a single API point where you just render image through, and that will include all of the magic. It uses a very extendable system where you could add different image types in the future. So if the next compression format comes by and it's installed on your server, you'll be able to use that service instead. So it's also future-proof. It supports WebP now, and then the other one, Len will help me, AVIF, which is kind of tricky to install on your server, but if your server supports it, you could already use it. I think coverage is already good enough in browsers to support it. Yeah, you'll be able to set admin settings, how you want things to be resized, compressed, whatever. It's going to be super extendable and configurable. We'll make sure it works with CDNs and S3 buckets and any storage. And you'll have some nice debugging data in your logs. And then on the other side, that's front end, we're also going to solve issues on the admin side for images where I think that WordPress has had an image editor for, 20 years, 18 years, and in Magento was still like stuck with, I mean, it's not Flex, it's no Adobe Flash anymore, but it's also not great. There's very limited capabilities to change anything, so you need to do it on your machine. For a merchant, I don't think they have Photoshop installed by default. So this is a very simple thing to tackle. Just using a decent image editor library and fully implement that, make sure that it hooks into the admin anywhere we want, and give it some cool extra features so that you can restore an image after you've added it. So there's a backup of any image. You'll be able to compress it, resize it, flip it, you name it. And you'll be able to set defaults that you're using in your team so that a merchant knows, oh, I want to resize this for a category banner, and as their SI or their developer, you've set the right aspect ratios and sizes for those type of banners, so you're helping them just select the right type, and they don't need to think about whether the formats are correct. And I think that's pretty low quality. Will it start automatically? Anything you can do to make the video play? Then we will publish this on social media soon, so you can see a demo of the image editor that we've implemented. We had a little demo where we just cropping an image and applying some filters, saving it and restoring it to the original size. It will be available for any point where you are working with images in the admin. We'll just load this from the gallery. Yeah, super flexible, and the UI is pretty nice, as you can see. I am trying to move to the next slide. I'm not sure if I'm now going to jump 10 pages. Should I wait? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's actually the next slide. We're going to build a bit on work that's being done in MageOS. There's a new admin team being built there. We want to build a child team on top of that, because we think the work that's being done there is pretty amazing and looks amazing. So we're eagerly waiting for that to be released. Artem is working on that. It's a complete refresh of the admin, and it will just make it look a lot nicer. And yeah, we're gonna collaborate. And I think the added benefit is when we start using it, adoption will increase very quickly, and we'll be able to contribute back to that default admin team with anything that we find we want to improve. So yeah, we'll kind of contribute back to that work. Since that was already being built, I don't think it makes sense for us to build another entirely new team. And I think this one is basically just restyling of the existing. I don't think it breaks anything, and that's the good thing. It's just a visual refresh. So yeah, we promise we'll be improving the CMS experience. We formed this roadmap with the help of our gold and platinum partners. We had some brainstorm sessions with them where we asked to put in their ideas of what their merchants need. We all voted on them, and we categorized them, and we ordered them. There's a lot of work that John put into that. We have sheets and sheets and sheets of data, And then we distilled the things that we thought that we could build quickly, easily. So that's how these features have been picked, and how we will also pick the next features that we will build. The main thing that we learned from that session with our partners is that people kind of hate the CMS experience in Magento. So the most requested thing was to improve Page Builder, which it's a lot of XML and it's not super extendable, and redoing it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, let's replace it, right? What we have been building is a replacement, a visual content editor that is kind of amazing, and it looks amazing. And I would like to invite Ross and Callan on stage, because they're the main engineers working on this. And they are just going to show you quickly how bloody amazing it is.
Hello. Yeah.
Cool. I'll leave the clicker here.
Yeah.
And I'll see you when you're done. Okay.
Cool. Hello, everybody. Cool. Okay, so we're going to show you Hyvä CMS. I'm really excited about it. So first off, you can access it in lots of different ways, but from the Magento page is one way. So we have Page Builder here, and now the merchant has a toggle to turn on Hyvä CMS. And immediately we see we get like this really nice preview, right? That's a big improvement, I think, from what we had before. We actually get a preview of what it's going to look like on the storefront. So I'll click into it, jump into the editor. And again, we have what we're calling our live view editor. We're calling it that because you get a live view as you're actually editing it, right? We have this tree navigator here, where you can go through all the different types of content. But I think what's really, really powerful for the merchants is they can, they don't even have to think about, where do I edit this? How do I edit this? They just click on it, right? They click on it, and immediately, as they start editing it, it will update immediately, right? That includes, like, as they type for stuff, yay, okay, we have something, and it's everywhere, right? It'll open up the form everywhere. It'll even jump into the field you want to edit, images, the container of the image, even product stuff. Like, and we can mix in all kinds of data. It doesn't have to be products, but Callum will show you. It's very easy to do. Right, so I've made some changes. Let's make another one here. I'll just change the variance, something different. And I'll quickly run through this menu. All right, we've got lots of options here. We have undo, redo, we have version history. I'll come back to that. You can also add components here. We'll have templates also. You can view on different devices, view on different store views. And okay, here we see we have unsaved changes. So let's save that. So now the page is saved, it's not published. This is like really important for merchants, right? We're giving them control of how they publish their content. You know, they don't have to work on it all at once. They can take their time, save it as they go, publish it when it's ready. It's no more like getting logged out of the admin before they publish and losing all their work. That's fixed. So I've saved it. It's not published yet. Like, you'll see the page is still using the old page builder stuff. And now I will preview it in a new tab. So there's lots of ways of like getting this URL. This is a nice URL that you can share with your colleagues, get feedback from them before you publish the content. So yeah, this is just the draft or save version. If I remove the query string here, you'll see it'll jump back to the old page builder stuff. So let's fix that. Click publish, go back, refresh the page. Awesome, right? That's what we want. It's also really fast, right? It's really fast to just go through it and save, like compared to before, you know, waiting for all that require.js to kick in and stuff. So let's look at the version history. So click on version history. Now we can see all the other stuff I've been working on. So I'm not going to lose anything I've been working on recently. And if I really like something, like, look, I'll pin this older version from way before. I don't want to get that to be lost. I can preview it. That looks different. I can also share URLs to that old version as well. Unpin that. I'll restore that version as well. restore it. Open up the version history. You see, okay, it was by me. My username is dev. I was restored from the version on the 26th of February. Yeah, that's it. There's loads of more stuff I could show you. Really would love to talk to you about it. So if you want to chat later on, I'd be happy to. But Colin's got some really cool stuff to show you, so I'll let him take over. Thanks.
Hey everyone. So what I'm going to showcase here is the developer experience and just how easy it is to actually create new components that you can use on the back end. So if I jump in here, I've got a new tab, I'm going to go into my editor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the etc folder. I'm just going to say live view components.json. And in here, I'm going to create a new component and just say example. I'm going to give it a name of example. Then I am going to give it a title. And that title will have a type of a text field inside the text, and then going to have a description. And then inside the description, the type is going to be a text area. Awesome. Then I'm going to go into the PHTML template. I just sort of set this up just so it's a little bit simpler, but I'm going to create a p tag, and let's say block get title. And then below, I want to say block get description. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go back to my editor, just hit refresh here, add a new component, and I can now see the example component. So, yeah. So what I'm going to start doing is I'll say hello world, and then next to it I'll just say hello developers. Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll hit save on that for the moment, but I want to make it look a little bit better. So I'm going to just take a snippet of code from, Tailwind UI, for example. So something like this, something very simple, sort of matches, and we've got everything ready for it. So let me just copy this snippet of code, go into the example, paste that in. Let's probably just grab that, and then place it in here instead, and then change this out. Awesome. So from now, I'm just going to hit save in here. Oop, no changes to save. Let's just refresh. Oh, we have, let's just check. Awesome. So, definitely not. Okay, so here we go. Let me just remove that. Hit save and refresh, and there we go. So we now have something that's made. Awesome. And yeah, hopefully that just showcases, there's loads more that you can do in there. There's loads of different settings that you can put in, but I think it just showcases how simple it is that you can just do something within the space of 2 files. 2 different files, and we're all done. So thank you. Awesome.
Man, yeah, I don't know. This makes me so excited. Just the developer experience, but also the extensibility and the user experience. It's beautifully designed by Danny, our own designer, and Ross and Kellen has just been hammering out features or whatever we come up with. Oh, it would be nice to do this and this, and the next day they come, yeah, I have a prototype of that. So the speed at which this is being developed is crazy, and I think we'll be able to put this in people's hands really soon. So Hyvä CMS, that's the full roadmap description that we'll have. Fully reimagined, beautiful designs. You can have private drafts with version history. You can share content through a preview URL. Multiple component types. You can have variants for a component. Kellen didn't even show that. Just point it to a different HTML file, you have a different component using the same data, so you can use different components for a different store view, etc. And we're going to fully integrate Hyvä UI. Every component that can go into there will be going into the page builder. So all the value that we've been building, all of those components in Hyvä UI will be available to merchants directly through editing data in the CMS. It will have templates, they didn't even tell you. You can store snippets and templates so you can reuse parts. We're currently looking at how we can have some of the Hyvä UI data, like a demo data we can insert through data patches into the page builder. So first time you install it, you have some beautiful looking content that merchants can edit themselves. So yeah, we're really, really stoked about everything that we're currently building in commerce. There's already a lot of value building up there. So this sums up the things that we're currently working on. To resume, the Hyvä CMS that you just saw, admin dashboard widgets, the admin team refresh, which we'll be building on top of the MageOS admin refresh. The image editor in the admin that we'll hopefully also be able to show soon, and media optimization in the front end for any image that you're inserting. After that, we're going to look at category merchandising, make it easy to sort and order products in a category through the admin. Linked products, so like a configurable, but with different URLs per product, so you can link simple products. A menu builder that will use the same interface more or less as this live view editor that we just showed you. And then the right column is additional features to what we already presented just now. And then things that we've planned beyond that for Hyvä Commerce are things like CMS page hierarchy, so you can more easily create URLs with a path or subfolders, improvements to layered navigation, just some multiple selects, checkboxes. It's so easy to implement. Every agency is implementing it themselves. Why is it not just part of the standard menu? Social login, email templates, again with the live view editor. So just imagine the experience that you just saw for creating emails. So that's the entire roadmap as it stands right now. It will be available fully interactive, so you can filter per category or product type on the website. So that's once we're back and we're over the hangover, then we'll start putting this on our website. So I'm gonna try to wrap up as quick as possible. The offering for Hyvä Commerce will be subscription-based, yearly renewal perpetual. So if you stop paying, you stop getting updates, but you can continue to use it. It will include Hyvä Team and Hyvä Checkout, so you don't need to buy them separately anymore. We're building everything on top of those products. There were requirements, so we make them part of the offering. It will work with Enterprise. Pretty much on top of Hyvä Commerce will be Adobe Commerce support. So Hyvä Commerce will sit in between the team and Hyvä Enterprise. It's offered as a product suite, as a meta package, so you can install everything at once, or if you don't want to use particular features, you can install it through packages or Composer, just using those packages that you want to use for this customer. So you can mix and match pretty much anything. Create your own meta package. It's going to be just 3,000 euros per year. Which I think it's a price point that should make it a no-brainer for merchants. Just look at the CMS that we just showed and think of what Storyblock, Prismic, they keep raising their prices. The expenses that you have for a third-party content editor, those prices are almost exceeding the price that we will charge for Hyvä Commerce. So talking about a no-brainer, this should be it. On top of all the extra features that we'll be building. So we want to put this into the hands of any merchant that wants to work with Hyvä. We're going for volume. So yeah, we'll hope that this makes it easier. To make it even easier, we thought about the upgrade path for existing customers. So imagine someone that bought the Hyvä team 4 years ago. They're super happy. They've got great value out of that €1,000 for 4 years already. And they will keep getting more value because they can use a cashback with that license to upgrade to Hyvä Commerce. So any money that merchants have invested in licenses already, they can use as a cashback to upgrade to Hyvä Commerce. We're waiting for the applause. Yeah, feel free. It's not forced at all. So as a quick example, if your merchant bought team and checkout and still has 3 years of checkout support remaining for €250 per year, that means that they have €2,750 in credit that they can use to upgrade to Hyvä Commerce for the first year. Cashbacks will be offered automatically. So if you go and buy a commerce license in the card, you will be offered the option to exchange your existing license or upgrade it to Hyvä Commerce, and you will get the discount for that cashback. So no extra work to be needed there, to be done there. We'll automatically calculate how much support is still left on licenses. So I think this would make it super fair and easy for people to upgrade. And again, I just hope that this increases the adoption rate and the volume that we build with this, so that we can continue to grow and invest in making this as awesome as we can. So we're going for value. The beta release, so the things that we just showed that we already have more or less done. As soon as we have a beta version of that ready, we will first test that with our gold and platinum partners. They will get non-commercial access, so they can play around and give us feedback. And then as soon as we feel it's good enough to launch, we will launch a first version in early access, which will also have a limited time discount. So it will be €2,500 to upgrade for the first year instead of 3,000. Include the cashback, they might even get it for free. From our team, these people are at the venue today. Go and find them, talk to them until we start dancing. That's time we don't talk about work anymore. So we're super excited, and I'm very happy that we get to share this all with you, and I'm very grateful for everyone who've made it over here and is sharing this moment with us. And I hope we're going to have a very fruitful day. Thank you.